Alright guys, welcome to today's video. I'm on my way to hopefully pick up, and two-stroke Honda NSR. So I picked a probably wrong day to do this. As you can see, hopefully you can see, we have a windstorm coming, and it's named, and it has a name. And when they have a name, you know they are serious. So let's hit the road and hope we can make it. Okay, so I've got the sat-nav set. We have 157 kilometers to go. That's like 100 miles. So let's fire this bad boy up, and hopefully we can make it today. Alright guys, so we are successfully loaded the bike, and we are coming home. We got keys. It should run. It ran at least the guy said 2 years ago. So let's get it home and let's start tinkering with it. Alright, so here we have it. This is a 1999 Honda NSR 125. This is a two-stroke, liquid cooled, and these things came out of the factory with an 11 kilowatts, which is like 15 horse. They made a couple of variants of this motorcycle for various markets through Europe, and the most powerful ones I think were in Italy, and they were opened to like 30 horse or something like that, to like 21 kilowatts. Of course, that I forgot to bring the two-stroke oil with me, but I have some premix for the KTM, so we're gonna use that. So let's get started with this thing. Let's take off the seat. Let's remove the seat. I really would love to remove this side fairing and take a look at the crank bolt and try to rotate the crank bolt by hand, but that's not happening. I can see that somebody left the fuel in the on position. That means we have a gummed up carburetor anyways, and we can't use ultrasonic cleaner at this moment because I used it on that Honda Hornet project, and it's full of crap from the radiator, full of that emulsion. So we don't have any electricity, so the battery is missing or it's weak. So let's remove the seat. Yeah, the battery is missing. So and we have some substance right here. Sniff test. Two-stroke oil. Somebody spilled their two-stroke oil in the compartment here. So let's reconnect the battery, and we'll see if this thing is gonna crank up. And the main issue with the two-stroke is compression, because these things run an coating inside the cylinder that we here called Nicasil, and that coating is applied by the set of electrodes in special bath. So that's the priciest thing to rebuild on this engine. So we're gonna see if we have a compression. Maybe we can do a compression test on this thing and move from there. This time I decided that I'm gonna make a longer video, more in depth, and I'm grabbing 8 minutes now. So let's put in the battery and see what happens. So let me get an Phillips, and we're gonna continue with this thing. So I was told by one of my viewers that the audio quality sucks, and I know that the camera probably crapped out, and it's picking sound just from one side. One of the microphones probably died, but I can't do anything with that at the moment because the property, the land that we are buying really stretched me out thin, so I don't have money to spare, and I have to buy more parts bikes because that's what keeping my whole operation here rolling. So I'm gonna try to scramble some money for a camera. If you can recommend me some cheap camera that I can use, I looked at the GoPro 7 White. That's like my price range. I want to be in about $200 price range. But the GoPro 7 White. Hold on, I'll have to find that bolt that I dropped, and then I will continue. That GoPro 7 White and also the gray or silver, they call it silver. The silver variant, they do not have the 3.5mm jack ports on them. So this camera that I'm using, that's a TI 5 something, and that camera also does not have the jack for the microphone, and I don't know if you can connect a microphone through a USB port. I don't think that's a possibility, and I want to bring you a better audio quality next time that I buy a camera. So let's see here. Okay, we have neutral light and side stand light. That's awesome. So let's bump start a little bit, and we'll see if we have a rotating engine. These starters are also known for going bad, so let's see. We are cranking. I don't hear the power valve though. Never mind. We are cranking, so now let's get rid of the tank and remove the carburetor, the airbox, clean that carburetor up with a brake clean as best I can, put it back together and get some premix in it, and hopefully this bike's gonna run. So let's get the tank off, and first we have to shut our fuel. So we have an off here. I don't get this. We have an off here, on here, off here, and on here, and a reserve. What the hell? Now it's on reserve. Now it should be off, I guess. Probably what does the button here say? That's the position we are in. So let's get this tank off. We have 10 mil here. So let's zap that off and see if we have a spark or not. I also noticed that this bike's missing the rear foot pegs and the holders for them. Interesting. Also, the bike came from this little underground building that the guy that I bought it from, I don't know if I mentioned it, he was a 70-year-old and he wanted this for his granddaughter, but the granddaughter found herself a boyfriend, so she probably find more pleasure riding something else than motorcycles. So he decided to sell it. I bought it for $250, which is a pretty reasonable price for these. They went up in the price because you can't get one that's not molested, that has the fairings in somewhat condition, and this one, yeah, it's not the best, but it's not the worst I've seen. So this bolt has to come out, this long bolt. I'll put it in my favorite meat tray. And now the tank is held on. I don't remember how it's held on. It's been a while since I've done this. Yeah, we have an Allen bolt up front. I'm surprised that it has this Allen. Oh, everybody took them off because they are a pain to get to and they are not that necessary to have. Now that thing is out, so let's see here if we can lift this thing off now. Oh. It's pretty full, you know. Wow, moldy. This gas line is pretty moldy, and it's held on with this so we have to unscrew this. Because of this bike sitting in that moldy environment, it smells a little bit musty, a little too much musty. I'm used to rat pee, I'm used to dog pee, but this musty smell I don't really like. So let's see if we can work this thing out of our way. Okay. So now what we are looking at here. Here we have two bolts holding down the airbox, starter relay here, choke here. Choke seems to work. These have tendency to rust and bind up. Here is the servo motor for the power valve. It turns kinda. It should turn more than this. What do we have here? Coolant. Do we have any coolant in the system? I don't see much, but we'll refill it once we get it running, if we can get it running. And the carburetor is down there. The carburetor, in fact, looks pretty shiny. So here we have spark and a spark plug. This is your prop for the tank. If you don't want to separate your tank, you just prop it here. That's always missing. Yeah, this bike is in pretty good shape for its age. So we have a torque screws right here, and then the clip down there, and this airbox is gonna come out. So let's get the Torx. Yeah, now you can see the mold. This is not dust or how this pipe should look like. I mean hose should look like. This is mold, straight mold. So mold growing everywhere. So let's get rid of the air cleaner. Let's get rid of the carburetor. Check for spark, and if we have spark, let's shoot some of the two-stroke premix into the bearings, into the bottom of the crankcase, and see if she's fired up. Don't breed the mold spores. Don't breed the mold spores. Easily said, harder to do. So let's see here. Come on, be nice to me and pop out. The grommet that goes from the airbox to the carburetor is a little bit petrified. So I have to help her. No? She don't wanna. She don't wanna come out. The airbox is out of the way, but the grommet stayed. Never mind. We're gonna unbolt the carburetor. And we'll see if we can get her out with the carburetor out. For now, I'm just gonna set the carburetor on the side here. Mold everywhere I look. So let's come on. Why is everything so stiff on this one? Yeah. Okay, so let's find ourselves a spark plug, and should have one somewhere. Where did I put it? I need to organize my stuff a little bit better. So let's get the spark plug in. I'll have to get better at working one-handed. So the spark plug's in. Let's put her somewhere where she should have ground. Let's turn the key on. And let's check for a spark. Yeah, we do have a nice spark. Now let's give me back my spark plug. Here we go. Let's put you back. And now let's find ourselves a syringe that's hiding there. And let's shoot some two-stroke gas down the throat. So I should have a little bit of two-stroke somewhere here. Here we have some premix. And this is 100 octane gas. This is a good stuff. It's also a pricey one. But for this, I'm gonna really need two hands. So we have our injection of life. So let's inject about 3 milliliters on the reed valve. I also forgot to mention that this thing has a reed valve. That's like two tongues that are operated by the vacuum created by the piston moving, and they open up and close as the piston goes. So let's see if we can puff some smoke. We can. Let's do it again. Well, that was easy. This thing is loud. I don't know if somebody went into the muffler and cut it out or something, or just or did I forget how these things sound? Anyway, we have nice cloud of smoke started to build up. That's one thing that these bikes do. They do make a little smoke show. So let's get the carburetor out of here. Let's make some room on the bench here, and let's look into the carburetor and see what's hiding in the carburetor. Then we have to, of course, check the charging system, and I can see that the power valve is not happy. It's trying to move at the phases back and forth, and these bikes are kinda known for dropping those tongues, those lips that sticks into the cylinder there. So the shaft may be seized or something like that. So maybe we're gonna have to. Yeah, this is probably seized. Maybe we are gonna have to pop the side cover here, and it's hard to get to. You have this frame here, and the power valve lives down in there. It's hard to get to with the engine inside the frame, but we'll see how it goes. Maybe it will free it up self by the heat that the engine will put out. So let's get the carburetor out of there, and let's check for gumminess. but I can see it's very clean, so I think we are gonna just blew some compressed air through it, and it's gonna be fine, at least for now. Okay, so first off, let's get rid of this moldy gas line. I almost don't want to touch that line, so we are gonna grab it. Doesn't want to cooperate. Now I smeared all the mold on my clothes. That's nice. So let's get rid of that. Try also to get rid of this petrified thing. I left the slide and the choke plunger on the motorcycle. They were pretty clean. Also, this thing is clean. It has just a vintage gas in it. So let's get rid of the vintage gas in it. These Delorto carburetors have a screen behind this 10mm nut, bolt. I'm sorry. Let's crack that bolt loose. Let's crack the bowl loose. Let's drain the vintage gas out of this thing and take it from there. Oh, I got a pair of blue ones. So let's put them on and let's see. I can't smell the gas. Only thing that I can't smell is the mold. Even the gas smells moldy. We do have a little bit of junk on the strainer here. Metallic flakes, to be precise. So let's try and gently remove this strainer. Oh, come on, I almost get you. Here we go. And now crack the float ball. Can you see something? I hope you do. I can get this one with a socket. Let me get a regular wrench. So, what do we got here? 12? No. 13? No. 14? 14 is our winner. Can see something. Let me reposition you a little bit. Hopefully now you can see what I'm doing. These things also acts like a main jet. Not bad. A little bit green. Let's pull the pin for the float here. I might need to get a pair of pliers. A small pair of needle nose. might end up leave this one well alone, because you can't get to that pin from the other side, and this thing starting to get stripped. Let me get a bigger caliber. So let's see. Nope. This thing is gonna stay where it's at. It sucks a little bit, but what can we do? So let's get all the little jets out. This is starting to strip out. I need a better screwdriver. Right, so let's see. When you're working with these jets, it's always about the screwdriver you use. These jets are kinda fragile. They are made out of brass, so you have to work gently with them and use a proper screwdriver. And the last one. So that's our emulsion tube right here. So I'm gonna also unscrew the idle mixture screw. So let's count the revolutions. Half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. So 2.5 out. Yeah, that was pretty dirty, so I'm glad we did take that one out. Also, somebody did an oil master delete on this, and they plugged the hole where the tube with the oil would go in. So let's clean this thing with the brake clean and the compressed air. So I'm gonna turn you off for that, because the compressor is really loudy. So I hopefully did blow through every possible way in this carburetor. So let's get the inlet, fuel inlet, back together, and let's see if our float needle and seat, to be precise, works. So let's crack this tight. So it's not gonna leak on us. yeah, it do work. So let's get all the pieces back together, how they came out. First, the emulsion tube. There is an O-ring that goes inside of the float ball. That O-ring's seen better days. Let's get that. Now this little tiny guy. I'm gonna hate myself when I'm gonna edit this one. This is going to be fun. I hope you folks do like these longer videos. I sure don't like to edit them, but if you can leave some comments in the comment section down below, I'm gonna be very glad if you do that. Leave even the bad ones. I know that I chose not the best way express myself when I'm not from English speaking country, but this is what I chose, so I have to fight with it, and hopefully I can achieve something. I'm doing this for 9 months now, and I have 50 subs, so I want to thank you all for subscribing, and I want to remind you that if you can subscribe to my channel, I'm gonna be very happy. I'm gonna put out more videos. So let's make this 2 turns. It was. I'm gonna set it about 1.5. So half, 1.5. That's, in my opinion, a little bit better setup for this bike. And it's like the general rule, 1.5. Okay, we should have everything as it's supposed to be. Now let's just fish this pipe through somehow. The O-ring needs to go through this little hole, so that's why that's tapping. And let's crack down this. Okay, now test. Good. So let's put it back on the machine. I hope that I did record the assembly of the carburetor. I may not turn on the camera, so if I forgot to turn that camera on, we just cleaned the carburetor. Now we are putting it back together. If I did that mistake, I'm gonna hate myself. So let's put in back the choke plunger and the slide. As I said, send me suggestions for the camera. It doesn't have to be an action camera. It also can be a normal camera that you can buy for 400 $200. That's my... Oh no, another fallen bolt. Oh, come on. We have to line up the needle with the emulsion tube. And also the little pin. Here we go. Now this cap, it can go only one way. It's offset a little bit. The bolt pattern is offset. So let's see if we can find that bolt. I don't see him. If I can't find him, you have to run with just one. So let me see if I can find him. And I don't see him. We have to go with just this one. I also noticed that let's slide it forward. Here we go. We don't miss our clamp for the intake. So let's put that guy in there, like so. Index this so we can tighten it up and get ourselves a Phillips. And let's secure him in his position so he can feel secure. Tilt him a bit so he's in line with the motorcycle. So he's secure in. Let me see if I have another fill line. I don't want to use that moldy one, and if I do, let's test this thing. Okay, I found a piece of gas line that's not moldy. I connected my funnel. So let's fill the funnel up, and my battery is dying, and also I have to go for lunch. It's 12 a.m. so let's do a quick test if this thing's gonna idle, and if so, then I can go and have a lunch. So do we see any gas leaks? Nope, looks like the float is working. So let's put on the choke. You can see how it's not happy with the power valve. Let's do this again. So I guess we can call this a partial win for now, at least. So this is going to be it for the part 2. I'm sorry that I'm gonna split this one into parts, but that way it's easily editable for me, and hopefully, as I said, my camera battery is dying. I have to go have a lunch and do my regular work, my parts dealing work. And it sounds like we have a bad exhaust leak. I looked at the front, and even from the gases pouring from the front of the motorcycle, I can say we have a bad exhaust leak at the front. So we are gonna take off the fairings in the next episode, take care of that exhaust leak. I should have a gasket for that, and then we are gonna soak the airbox boot in the WD-40 so it's more soft and more pliable, and hopefully I can take this thing for a spin around the property here. So stay tuned for the part 2. If you like this content, please do subscribe, share my videos. I want to take this channel up in the rankings so I can afford more stuff, more tools, and something like that. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate any interactions with this video, and have a nice day, and I will see you in the part 2 of this video or another video. If you didn't watch my other videos, go back, watch them, have fun with my bad English, my under-equipped shops, and have a nice day. Bye.